I have a confession to make. If you had come to see me years ago when your teen was first diagnosed with FND or functional neurological disorder, I would have told you things that I now know are fundamentally incomplete and in some cases just plain wrong. In today's video, I'm pulling back the curtain on the 3 major mistakes I made as a professional psychologist and how shifting my perspective can actually speed up your teen's recovery. Specifically, we're going to cover these 3 things. Number 1, why the old convergent disorder label was actually holding families back. Number 2, why trigger hunting is a trap that keeps your nervous system in a state of fear and on high alert. Number 3, the leadership power of the parents and why your teen needs the freedom to make an unlimited amount of mistakes to actually get better. What does that mean, right? If you have been feeling stuck or guilty as a parent, this video is your permission to start over with a better map. So let's dive in. So I remember back when we called this convergent disorder. It wasn't FND back then. That moment that label was used though, the energy in the room changed. I still remember. I would look at the parents and immediately start digging into this heavy-duty psychiatric history, and I was looking for the hidden trauma or this suppressed stress that was supposedly converting into physical symptoms. And that's literally what the convergent name is coming from. And I saw that look on your faces. It was a look of guilt, confusion, and defeat. And back then, I thought that heavy feeling was just part of the diagnosis. I was totally wrong. FND is not a psychological mystery your child is hiding. It is a functional software glitch in the nervous system and brain and the body. And we stopped hunting for trauma and start looking at how the brain actually communicates with the body or the lack thereof the communication, which is already scientifically proven at this point. Point number 2, this was a trigger trap. I also used to think that FND was all about the trigger. The trigger, trigger, trigger. So I thought if we could find just one thing, that exam, that fight, that school, that specific stressor, maybe it was a thing, maybe it's just that thing, and remove it, the symptoms will go away, like vanish. But here's the truth. Hunting for triggers keeps you in a state of constant fear and hypervigilance. So you end up walking on eggshells as a parent, right? Trying to protect your teen from life. And I realized that it is not about the fire, which is a trigger. It is actually about the nervous system regulation to begin with. It's not the only thing, but it's the beginning of it. So we don't need to stop the wind from blowing. We need to build a house that can stand in the storm, starting from the foundation building, which is usually the nervous system reset regulation strategies, which is what I teach in my coaching program, Teen FND Academy. Now, the third part, this might be the biggest thing that I got wrong, and I am not afraid to admit my mistakes. Here's the deal. I used to believe that if the teen was not ready to work or to get better, the parents were powerless. You know, it's all about teens' voice and in teens needing to get better, teens wanting to get better. So even if you as a parent want to do something about it, if the teen wasn't ready, don't even bother. I thought the teen had to lead the recovery. Oh boy, I could not have been more wrong about that. So parents, here's the deal. You have the leadership power, no doubt. You have the executive authority to set the tone of the home because at the end of the day, you are the leader. And here is a secret. Your job is not to force them to be well. Your job is to provide the leadership of reset. What does that mean? Give your team the freedom to make an unlimited amount of mistakes. Let them fail. Let the symptoms flare and then show them how to reset. And this is where the growth happens time and time and time again, not in perfection, but in the recovery from the fall. The Family Guy shares a handful of practical strategies to help you get out of this survival mode. And it shows why our structured approach gets such a strong result. Grab it from the description below. It is free. Now, to be fair, that doesn't necessarily mean that you need to laugh at your child's failure and having obvious injuries and things like that. No, it is more about you parents learning the strategy of the leadership of reset by regulating yourself first and showing your teen kind of how it's done. right? And obviously there's a lot more to it. But the point here is that I want you to know that you do have the ultimate decision-making ability as a parent. And you set the parameter where your teen can choose to grow. And finally, here's the deal. I used to interpret success only one way. Are the symptoms gone? If that sounds familiar, welcome to the club. You see, I was trained in a hospital setting for many years. So the only way that we would see the progress, quote unquote, is whether symptoms are still there or not. Symptoms are gone, great. You made a progress. Symptoms are still there. Oh, we need to think about PT, OT, speech, medication, psychiatry, talk therapy. Oh, this test, that test. Oh my gosh, more. Shaman, like supplement, all of the above, right? And then praying, kumbaya, all of the above. Boy, was I trained in the wrong setting, specifically for FND. And I will say that because it was not helpful. Why? If the tremors were there, we were losing. If the symptoms were gone, we were winning. But that puts an impossible amount of pressure on a healing brain. Think about it. And that also includes yourself. Think about it. Are you putting this impossible amount of pressure as a parent? Because if your child fails, that means you fail as well, right? That is not true, but that is how most caring, loving parents would think. And that's why they get desperate. They want to find the answer. They want to find the solution. They want to find this quick magic. So then your child is no longer suffering from FND symptoms. However, today, I completely changed. Measure the success by resilience. If you want to see how my full program of Teen FND Academy works and how it's helping families resolve FND for real, then watch the video linked in the description box below. Is your teen learning to regain the control of their brain and the body? AKA, are they practicing the skills and strategies, right? With the right mindset? Are they regaining their life even when the software glitches happen here and there? When we stop obsessing over the disappearance of symptoms, that's usually when they actually start to fade. It sounds really awkward, but that is true. Time and time again, after working with so many teens and their parents, that is literally the case. So if you have been following the old roadmaps, it's okay to let it go. We know more now, and we are doing so much better now. If you want to learn how to lead your team through this new lens of nervous system regulation and this power of reset, I am here to help. So let's stop hunting triggers and start building resilience. I'll see you in the next video.